What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL. And before we get into this final look video, I want to introduce you guys to the official partner of Greenlight DFS, SuperiorSportsInvestments.com, the #1 sports card dealer in America. I'm talking about anybody's rookie card that you can possibly think of, you can find here. They just added some new cards: Clayton Kershaw's rookie, Ken Griffey Jr.'s rookie card, Ronald Acuna Jr.'s rookie card, which you know as a Braves fan, that's going to be gone as soon as I'm done with this video. I'm going to go cop that real quick. But anyways, they have anything you can possibly imagine. They even have boxes, packs, and sets, over 400, almost 400 of them. All right, and I'm not talking just the new ones. You know how you can't find them at the store anymore to open up because they're sold out as soon as they hit the shelves? You can find them here, and I'm talking you got packs from the 1980s that you can bust open with your child and show him players that he's never even heard of. They have magazines and newspapers. They have all types of stuff. This is the sports memorabilia heaven. So if you love collecting sports cards, if you love sports in general, you will love this site. Use CamATL at checkout for a discount, and make sure you hit me up on Twitter at Cam_ATL to show me what you got. I love collecting stuff. I've been buying stuff from this site for years, and I'm just excited to finally be able to partner with them and introduce them to you guys. I know some of you have probably heard of them because they're huge in the industry, but go check them out, man. Greatest deals, and on top of that, you get a discount entering CamATL at checkout. Now let's get into this final look video. All right, guys, week 6 was fantastic. We have now won 3 weekends in a row at greenlightdfs.com. Make sure you hit up greenlightdfs.com to join the squad for week 7 to get #4 in a row with us. It's been amazing. Last night, we just dominated the showdown as we have been doing all season. We got the one takedown earlier on this year. Showdown is a little bit rough. Sometimes it can be tough, but you know, you've got that takedown potential, and we were literally Devontae Freeman just falling into the end zone one time and not getting injured from getting a takedown last night. So that was great. Great way to start off week 7, and I'm excited to get even more money on this main slate, man. We haven't gotten a main slate takedown yet. We've gotten close, but we haven't gotten a main slate takedown yet, so I'm excited to get into it. Let's go ahead and get straight into this video. As you guys know, I already talked in the first look video in the beginning of the week. I talk about, you know, the guys that I put in the first look lineup, and then in this video, we go position by position and break down everybody that we're interested in. All right? Now, comment down below who you think is going to be the top scorer on DraftKings. Put their name and their point total down in the comment section for a chance to win $100 from your boy. Good luck. This is the final video that you can put your guess down in the comment section for your chance at $100. So put your guess down below and let's get it. Good luck. All right. Starting off at quarterback for this week, my #1 guy that I love this week is Kyler Murray. All right, plain and simple. Kyler Murray at home in Arizona going against Seattle. Now they messed with things a little bit and moved this game to the night game. They are still keeping this game, I believe, on the main slate. So the slate won't be over until after this game. So it's going to be this is the definition of a late night hammer right here. This is literally where it comes from. All right, we've got some major guys that we are interested in this game, and they will be playing later on that night. I believe 7:30, something like that. So they will be playing later on. So that main slate will not end till late. So Kyler Murray is going against Seattle, who I don't have to explain this much, man. I mean, he's at home in Arizona in a dome, which is always good. Seattle has been giving it up, gave up over 26 to Fitzpatrick, 34 to Prescott, almost 40 to Cam Newton. Like, this is just no need to explain this much. Kyler Murray gives you a good amount of points on the floor already with his just rushing ability. Now he gets to go against a team that can't stop the pass at all either. I absolutely love Kyler Murray. Another guy that is interesting to me with this matchup is going to be my boy Justin Herbert. Now, the rookie has been playing some solid football this year. All right, his DraftKings output, 26, 19, 24, 27. He has been fantastic, all right? And he has faced some tough defenses. Tampa Bay is one of the best defenses in this league, and he got 24 against them. Now he gets to go against Jacksonville, the worst, absolute worst secondary in this league this year. Okay, they are horrible. They gave up 30 to Deshaun Watson, 26 to Ryan Fitzpatrick, almost 26 to Tannehill. Justin Herbert's in a fantastic spot. If you need some money, he is also playable at 6'4". I do like Herbert here as well. Another guy I have to talk about is Matthew Stafford going against my Atlanta Falcons. Look, My Atlanta Falcons, I love them, and I'm so happy that they got that win last week. Maybe the team's morale has shifted now that we've gotten rid of a few people in that, the coaches and stuff. But Matthew Stafford here in a dome is just a fantastic play here against Atlanta. All right, same reason we liked Kirk Cousins last week and he dropped 30 against them. They're just a bad secondary, and Atlanta's able to score not bad at all. So this game should be a shootout. I'm really excited for Matthew Stafford. He should be a solid play as well. Obviously, the number one point per dollar quarterback that I love this week is still Kyler Murray. But then you got Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford. You've even got Aaron Rodgers in a fantastic spot up here at 7K. Oh, only he's 100 less than Kyler Murray in what could be a shootout. I could also see Green Bay smashing Houston, but with it being in Houston, I'm going to predict it's a shootout. And Aaron Rodgers has been playing fantastic this season as well. He did come down and struggled badly against Tampa Bay last week. But Tampa Bay, like I said earlier, is a really solid defense. All right, so expect Aaron Rodgers to bounce back here against the Houston squad that gave up almost 34 to Ryan Tannehill. Aaron Rodgers is a fantastic option as well. Let's talk about a few more plays. Matt Ryan is at home in Atlanta going against Detroit. I absolutely love him here. He got 34 last week against Minnesota, really came out slinging. Julio Jones finally broke out. This is a solid situation for him here. Detroit has done okay versus quarterbacks. I mean, the most fantasy points they've given up this year is almost 25 to Kyler Murray. But Matt Ryan at home here with the weapons that he has is a solid option for GPPs. But he's 6'7", so he's too close to Kyler Murray. All right, plain and simple. Now, Deshaun Watson, you can play him as well if you would like to. Gardner Minshew going against the Chargers, if you want to play that, that's okay. Outside of that, though, that's about it. That's my main core. I'm really wanting Kyler Murray as my number one guy that I'm interested in this week. And then you've got Justin Herbert, who's super interesting here against Jacksonville. Horrible secondary. Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, and Matt Ryan. That is like the core five that I'll be paying attention to this week. All right? Now let's shift over to running backs real quick. I'm going to try to get through this video and get you guys started. You guys already know, talked about him in the beginning of the week. Aaron Jones, man, Houston has been absolutely garbage against the run. Aaron Jones is about to feast. Same reason we liked Derrick Henry last week, and he dropped the slate highest DraftKings points out of anyone, almost scoring 44 DraftKings points. Aaron Jones is a guy that has crazy upside, as you can see with the 48 he dropped against Detroit week 2. He's due for another banger. He just got only 13 against Tampa Bay. Expect a big game out of Aaron Jones here against Houston. I love him at 7-2, and he is still one of my favorite guys. Alvin Kamara, pay attention to Michael Thomas. We've been getting news of him not practicing and stuff like that. If Michael Thomas misses, you're just going to have to lock in Alvin Kamara and just move on. Okay? If it comes down to the decision between Aaron Jones and Kamara, like if you have to choose between one of the two, if Michael Thomas is out, you have to go Kamara. It just is what it is. I mean, I love Aaron Jones this week, but you have to go Kamara if Michael Thomas doesn't play, especially. Even if Michael Thomas plays, Kamara is a great option. I like Aaron Jones a lot. They're right there near each other. These guys are tough to, battle over, but yeah, if Michael Thomas misses, Alvin Kamara is going to be, in my opinion, in cash games, close to a lock. Okay, nobody's an absolute lock, but he's close to a lock in cash games especially. Let's talk about Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is a guy who, man, he's been having a limited practice throughout the week, so pay attention to that. I do expect him to play. Going against Cincinnati is a solid as you know, last year, Cincinnati struggled against the run, gave it up a ton. They've been doing a little bit better, but they also haven't faced much of anybody. Nick Chubb went off for almost 30 against them week 2. All right, so expect Kareem Hunt to smash here. I think he's a very solid option at 6'8", and he's also one of my favorite options as long as he's healthy and he will be able to play. I absolutely love him for sure. All right, let's talk about some other guys. Let's go to Chris Carson because you guys know that game is very enticing to me. Chris Carson's a solid option here. He's been getting some really good targets in the pass game, which is really good. He got 7 targets against Minnesota last week 5. He got 6 catches out of those, a touchdown. He only got 8 carries, but, man, it was a bright sign to see that many targets in the pass game. Fantastic situation here. This game should be a shootout here in a dome. Chris Carson is also a solid play this week. Who else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about Todd Gurley, who is a guy who could definitely pop out here. Aaron Jones dropped 49 against this Detroit team week 2. Todd Gurley's not Aaron Jones, especially not the Todd Gurley now, but he showed some flashes, some signs of some explosiveness against Carolina week 5. But everybody shows explosiveness against Carolina, so I mean, it is what it is. Todd Gurley is playable. There's other guys that I prefer. I'd rather just spend 800 more for Kareem Hunt, but Gurley is okay. Joe Mixon is another guy that I'm interested in. We got to pay attention to him. He sat out practice on Thursday, but I believe he should be able to play here. But we will see what happens. Make sure you keep an eye on that. But the matchup is okay against Cleveland. And that's the main group of guys that I'm interested in. I do have a value guy that I have some interest in, and that's Justin Jackson. All right, Justin Jackson got 6 targets in this last game against New Orleans. All right, Jacksonville struggles against pass-catching backs. They just gave up 30 to DeAndre Swift. All right, Swift did a ton of damage on the ground, but Swift is also their pass-catching guy, and Justin Jackson's in a solid spot here, okay? All right, you got Eckler out. You've got Kelly who's back there, but, I mean, look, Jackson's going to get some good run. He got 15 carries last week against week 5 against New Orleans. 15 carries and 6 targets in the past game. Justin Jackson at only 4.9 is very interesting as a value play if you want to spend down. All right. Outside of that, anybody else? I have to talk about Mike Davis. I know that he let a lot of people down last week. Only getting 12. We're used to those in the 20s performances out of him. Going against New Orleans here, they've been a decent defense, but you got to understand, at the end of the day, this is a Carolina squad that's been using Mike Davis like Christian McCaffrey, and anybody used like Christian McCaffrey in the league is a play. Plain and simple. DeAndre Swift against Atlanta, that's definitely in play. Atlanta struggles bad against pass-catching backs and just on the ground, period. At 5'4", this is a solid spot for him as well. And that's about it. Those are the main guys. Pay attention to the situation with Michael Thomas because that'll make Kamara amazing, especially if Michael Thomas misses. Even if Thomas plays, you have to consider Kamara. Aaron Jones still is one of my favorite options this week. And, those are my 2 favorite guys. And then you got the value of Justin Jackson. You've got guys like Joe Mixon, Ty Gurley, Chris Carson. Kareem Hunt is another guy that I have a lot of interest in. All right, wide receiver. Break down some wide receiver real quick. My favorite wide receiver point per dollar this week is Terry McLaurin. And I'm going to start with him first. Dallas' secondary has been abysmal. All right, non-existent. High school secondaries are better than Dallas' secondary. We should go pick up we should literally send a scout out to go to high school football games in Dallas and grab some cornerbacks and some safeties because who they have is not cutting it. They have been struggling a ton. They did okay against DeAndre Hopkins last week, but that's an outlier. They are going to get destroyed here by Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin already is one of the higher targeted players in the league in general. Expect a ton of targets here against Dallas. Dallas' secondary will not be able to stop him. He's a fantastic play at 5'8" in this matchup. All right. Now, I talked about the Detroit game. I really love Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones. I think these guys are sneaky pairings with Matthew Stafford against Atlanta. Kenny Golladay is 6'7", another solid option here. He's probably going to be matched up with Kendall Sheffield, who gave up over 31 to Allen Robinson week 3. So this is a solid situation here for Kenny Golladay. I think he could have a monster game here. This is definitely the spot where he does so. All right. Now, another game I've talked about a bunch, and I love it for its shootout potential, man. But that Green Bay game, Davante Adams. Now, we already know Davante Adams is a guy who gets ridiculous targets when he's healthy. This last game against Tampa Bay, he only got 12. Maybe people will stay off of him because of that, but Carlton Davis is a solid cornerback. He's been doing a great job this year, and so it's kind of an outlier here. Now, going against Houston, going against Bradley Roby, who gave up almost 23 to A.J. Brown, gave up 30 to Adam Thielen. Davante Adams has the potential to break the slate at 7-9, plain and simple. I absolutely love him. Let's talk about DeAndre Hopkins because we love Kyler Murray. Hopkins is a guy that we need to pay attention to. He has not been practicing this week. So pay attention to him. I'm not sure 100% how it's going to go here. He has only missed 2 games out of the games that he's had his chance to play. So I'm expecting Hopkins to play. And with that being said, he's my favorite receiver to pair with Kyler Murray, obviously. If you want to go a guy like Christian Kirk, you can do that, who exploded last week. He's only 4.9. You can go Fitzgerald if you want to be different and get off of Hopkins. You can go Kirk. You can go Fitzgerald. That's perfectly fine. All right. You've got some solid options as well down at the cheaper range in that 5K range still. T. Higgins has been having a solid season. Now he gets to go against Cleveland that just gave up over 18 to Claypool. The exact reason why we played Claypool last week. Over 25 to CeeDee Lamb. All right, so T. Higgins is in a fantastic spot at 5-3. Another guy who seems way too cheap is A.J. Green. Same matchup against Cleveland, who has been struggling secondary-wise. Gave up almost 37 to Amari Cooper. I love A.J. Green here in this matchup at home in Cincinnati. And he finally got 11 targets last game, so hopefully that can stay around. And Burrow can keep targeting his boy A.J. Green, so that would be great. If you do play a lot of Detroit, I like the idea of running it back with Calvin Ridley or Julio Jones. Pay attention to Ridley, though. He is limited for the second straight practice. I think that he's going to be able to play. If he misses, then, I mean, guys like Julio Jones is going to be locked, all right? Julio, speaking of him, is official limited practice again for Julio as well. I expect both of these guys to play. I think Atlanta's going to have everybody in there and healthy to play. So this is a good shootout game, and you can play any of those guys, especially if you end up going the Stafford paired with Galladay, Marvin Jones route, and you're just getting a lot of some Detroit. Run it back with a Ridley, a Julio Jones, something like that, okay? Um, who else do I want to mention? Already talked about Christian Kirk. Jamison Crowder has been balling this season. He's another guy, but he missed practice as well. There's a lot of receivers to keep an eye on up until lock. Um, Keenan Allen, obviously, against Jacksonville to pair. He as well was limited, so it's another guy to keep an eye on. But Keenan Allen, I mean, especially if you end up going Herbert, which in GPP that's a really interesting stack to me. Herbert with Keenan Allen and maybe Justin Jackson as well, getting these guys who are going to get a solid amount of targets in that pass game. Mike Williams even. These guys are all solid options, and I think they're going to be a sneaky stack for GPPs. All right, let's talk tight end. All right. At the tight end position, I love this Chargers offense. I'm going to keep talking about them. And at tight end, you got 4-5 for Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry is a solid tight end play this week against Jacksonville. Very solid option. Jacksonville's been middle of the road against tight ends. Hunter Henry has been a solid, just consistent, productive guy for this offense this year. And he's been getting some decent targets. So expect Herbert to target his boy Henry multiple times here against Jacksonville. I wouldn't be surprised to see Henry get in the end zone, or maybe even two. All right, we've got a bunch of different options that we can go this week, though, man. I mean, honestly, Hunter Henry's point per dollar is a great option. You got Austin Hooper. You've obviously got the top guys. I'm not going to talk much about guys like Travis Kelce, George Kittle. If you have the money, those guys are obviously going to be okay to play. You got Austin Hooper going against Cincinnati, who's going to be a solid option. Cincinnati's been giving it up to tight ends, and Hooper's been getting targeted fairly well in this Cleveland offense. I think that's another sneaky shootout game as well right there. Who else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about Greg Olsen because really anybody in that game is interesting as well. Going against Arizona. Arizona has been doing a lot better versus tight ends this season. Greg Olsen is a solid option, though. He's got a decent chance of getting. He could get you 8 to 10 DraftKings points here, and that's all you really need at 3-6. All right. Now let's talk about defenses real quick. Let's go over these defenses real quick. Now, number one, if you're saving money, like I said in the first look lineup video, if you're saving money, then Washington football team at 2-5 is going to be the way that you want to go. All right, they're only 2-5. Andy Dalton obviously is going to be still the turnover-prone Andy Dalton that we remember from Cincinnati. They're at home in Washington. It's just everything matches up. If you need the money, 2-5, Washington is going to be a fantastic option. All right, and they are my favorite option this week to go with. Yes, Dallas could score against them, but I think that Dalton and company is going to make enough mistakes to make Washington playable, especially at 2-5. You don't need anything. All right, so that's a very easy choice this week. Washington is my favorite defense. Outside of that, you could play the Patriots. You could, I guess against San Francisco. You could play a bunch of different options. You could play the Chiefs against Denver. Who else? You could play the Bills against the Jets. You could even play the Cowboys against Washington, I guess. But the main way to go is just Washington and not overthink it. All right? And that's it, y'all. Hopefully I was able to touch on everybody you guys are interested in. If I missed somebody, comment who you believe is going to be the highest scoring player on DraftKings this week for Week 7. Hit up greenlightdfs.com to join the squad. Hit up superiorsportsinvestments.com. Enter code CamATL at checkout for a discount. And good luck, y'all. Let's kill this Week 7. Let's get this money. And I'm out. Peace.